the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown.
And everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Might be a good idea to update that. Welcome in, everyone, to this edition of Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham. Alongside Luke Robinson, we'll be with you for the next couple of hours, taking your phone calls, taking your comments, talking about everything going on in the world of sports. Well, the Ides of March have come and gone. That means the NCAA tournament is right around the corner. It will be starting this week. Looking forward to that. Actually, tonight, St. Francis up on Alabama State right now, 46-40. About 15 minutes left to go in that one. So
somebody's bracket's already about to be busted.
A tight affair. You don't even get the pleasure of people voting. I mean, of selecting you.
They get the backslash.
Yeah, I mean, basically.
But I mean, frankly, it's.
I don't even know why we have playing games.
They're stupid.
I'm still not. I don't understand why we're fighting over a 16th place.
I mean, we can start right there. Again, nobody's saying this isn't the best event. Now, probably, I guess outside of the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is probably. I mean, but this is the first weekend of March Madness is about the best, right? But we're going to screw around with it, and we're going to ruin it because, I mean, is there anybody on earth watching this game right now? Is there anybody worried about it? I mean, what you should do is just say, okay, I don't know why they don't let just the 16 seeds all be playing games. And what some people say, well, that's not fair to them. They don't get their chance. And I'm like, hey, they get their chance. It's the only game in town right now. St. Francis, Alabama State is the only game on, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think that's better than having to suffer through
well, you just said nobody's watching it.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, it's still there. Nobody's going to watch it no matter what anyway. You know.
I bet some Auburn people are watching it, self-scouting.
Self-scouting, sweet Jesus. I don't think that they have to worry about any scouting. St. Francis had a losing record coming into this thing, okay?
I am aware. But they can shoot the three. That's, again, look, I mean, that's the thing about March. You run into teams that you got one guy that gets nuclear high. And,
okay.
You know.
I mean, look,
that's why I'm trying to help you out here, saying, okay, yeah, make it so people will watch.
I think that's better. There are a lot of people who want to do it the other way and say that the bubble team should have to play. And I don't really like that. If we're going to do that, though, let's do that. I don't like this mixture of we got 4 crappy teams playing 2 games and 4 kind of teams playing games. And
why is it? I mean, it seems arbitrary. An 11 seed.
It is. It's incredibly arbitrary.
Why is that?
I don't know. Because my bet
who
is.
Who came up with this?
Well, my bet is because 11 is about the lowest a power conference team can go. Now, I don't remember ever seeing a power conference team 12 or below. There may have been one.
I'm sure there's probably been a 12.
I've never seen one.
I don't know.
I say I've never seen one. I don't remember one.
Yeah.
11's about the lowest I've seen. So I guess that's where it comes from. But again, then it sort of makes it seem like, well, yeah, but now the 11 seeds have another chance to get somebody hurt and have to play an extra game, and that doesn't seem right either. I mean, there are a lot of flaws in what we're doing now to try and placate the smaller schools, and I think all that's about to go away when everybody merges, and we don't have to worry about that anymore, and I'll be fine with it.
Well, we'll see. Well, are we going to get – I mean, so in your mind, we're going to basically get together that this whole breaking away that was a movie, by the way, but breaking away, and it's going to be 60 – it's still going to be 64 teams. It's just going to be 64 teams with a university that you are well aware of.
I've heard of. First of all, it's 68 teams, which is another problem.
Well,
but I think it could be still 68.
It's
64.
not 68 teams. You have 4 teams that are playing. That is not.
Well,
if it's not on the bracket that you can place your vote, it don't count.
That's to you, but I can tell you what. North Carolina considers themselves in the tournament, and West Virginia surely considers North Carolina in because they're fuming about it.
I'm sure.
They also lost their coach today to Indiana. West Virginia's had a bad few days. But, I think that's what's going to happen is eventually the power conferences somewhere and maybe some Notre Dame. And
Well, will they still need – there won't be a need for a play-in game, will there?
No, I don't know what they'll do. And it may be 40 teams or 48 teams or something else. It may be some other oddball number like 68. But, it is wild that, West Virginia doesn't get in, North Carolina does. I mean, we were all saying all of the bracketologists had North Carolina out, Texas out. And when North Carolina got in, I was like, they got in over Texas. And then Texas got in. I was like, what in the world is happening?
Well, I believe last week we did – true or false, the SEC would break the record.
Yeah.
You said yes.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
Where
They
in the
obliterated
world?
it.
14?
Well, I think it does go. And Danny Cannell had a fit on Twitter. And,
I wish I could have seen that.
He really was upset. And he was like, look, it's just, fanboy reaction and money and blah, blah, blah. But, the SEC did have, this incredible non-con record. And they beat, even
people were saying this was
Oklahoma beat Michigan. Oklahoma's one of our worst. They went 6-12 in the conference, and I saw somebody on Twitter say, "Well, if you go 6-12 in your conference, you shouldn't get in the NCAA tournament." And I'm like, "But that line of thinking is pro football mentality. You are slotted here, and no matter what you do, this is where you go." I hate that mentality because if you look at the SEC and you look at the metrics, you go, "Yeah, Oklahoma went 6-12." Guess what? Let's pick another team. If this year's North Carolina team had to play Oklahoma's schedule, ain't no way they'd go 6-12. I've seen North Carolina play. They wouldn't do it. So it's –
Well, the SEC's been kind of on the opposite side of this because
we've only gotten 3 teams in.
I know. They've been the conference where people said, well, yeah, but if you actually played in the Big East, it'd be a different story. Well, now that's people legitimately have been saying, I'm talking about national people all across America have been saying, this is the best conference in the history of college basketball, top to bottom. And I think everybody pretty much well agrees with that.
I'll tell you
and if you're going to have that, then if not
they need to be rewarded.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not only that, I don't think it's going to change.
No.
Look, the SEC's recruiting really, really well. They've got all these good coaches. South Carolina and LSU are like, yeah, we'd like to be included. But how would you like to be South Carolina or LSU? The only 2 left out.
Well, South Carolina last year, too. Having the year that they had. And, just completely falling off the earth this year. You can understand LSU. at least LSU, their coach was kicked out. And,
And he's in the tournament.
And now he's in the tournament. That's true.
Yeah, it's tough stuff. But, I'm happy for the SEC. Now, here's the thing. You know what's going to be like, who was it, Carl Ravitch that said, the SEC's only 500 since conference play started. When the SEC, at the end of this thing, no matter who wins, let's say an SEC team wins the title, they go, 13 of them lost. They had 13 losses. That's true because there's only one winner. But so I'm really, I think I'm more SEC fanboy than normal this particular year because, so there are 14 teams in. If the SEC gets, if half of those win, what's the over-under on half of those getting into the Sweet 16?
I said, 6 last week?
Yeah.
And I think we rejected that.
Oh, it did. But, think about it. Well, we were saying 6 based on 12 getting in. Well, 2 more are in. Now, it's 2 of the bottom side. But, see, somebody what if Vanderbilt could beat St. Mary's?
Sure.
Bama win. Then an SEC is automatically in.
Yeah.
Okay, because they play each other in the second round.
Auburn and Texas A&M.
Also, Auburn and Texas A&M. Now, that's a little bit later, but there's another one. I think it's Florida and Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Oklahoma
that's
could win the
second
Florida.
round.
Automatically in. So, now automatic loss, too, for one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's what if the SEC gets 7 teams or 8 teams in the Sweet 16, people are going to lose their
What if
minds.
6 of the 8 are of the Elite 8 are SEC? I mean, I don't even know if it could work out that way, but
each
yeah, it's
bracket
crazy.
has at least 3 SEC teams in it, right?
Yeah, they spread them out pretty good. So
I mean, they did the best they could. We did a whole Locked On SEC thing last night in the Locked On Vantage. I was like, look, I just want to win that first round. Then it's us and Bama, and winner gets the Sweet 16. He said, I dig it. He said, it's about all I can ask for.
Yeah.
And I love it too. I mean, I think it's great. And, you know, it's a good shot. Now, here's the one thing. That somebody in the SEC needs to close the deal. Because if we do all this and then Duke wins it or Michigan State wins it or St. John's wins it, then all of a sudden people are going to say, yeah, y'all did everything but what you really need to do.
yeah,
You know?
that's true. And look, I mean it is so hard to win this tournament. I mean, look, I mean, it's just every conference, no matter. I mean, there are teams out there that went 30-3. There are some really, really good teams that you've never heard of that could sneak up and knock you off. I mean, you got to win 6 games in a row here. It's
And what I also love, I do love this about the tournament every year. I think the committee gets some things wrong. I definitely think they got North Carolina wrong. I mean, and look, it behooves Alabama. Didn't Auburn play North Carolina this year too? Did they or did they? Okay, so
Beat 'em in Maui.
it behooves Alabama and Auburn for North Carolina to get in because they both played them, right? And what that means is, I'll get back to that in a second. Auburn played of Auburn's 33 games. Y'all played 30, I think 33 games. Auburn played 24 of those teams are in the field. 25 of Alabama's are in the field. Auburn played. Now Auburn is a 1 seed, so you can't play yourself. But Auburn played all the other 1 seeds, right? And Alabama, and they played. I guess they played. Duke, Houston, Auburn, and Florida. So they played 3 games against. They played 3. Alabama played 1 seeds 5 times. Twice against Auburn, twice against Florida, and Houston. Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable what this state has done. And Troy getting in. But, yeah, North Carolina shouldn't have gotten in. West Virginia probably should have. But for West Virginia and the governor to say they're going to sue and do all this, you're splitting hairs, man. And Florida State tried to go that route, and you saw how well that turned out in football a few years ago. Yeah. And sometimes it just is what it is. Just take it. We've all been left out. Every one of us has been left out. Every one of our teams has been left out. It's your turn over the barrel. Deal with it. One other note, Alabama plays Robert Morris, right? I didn't know this until I started looking at it a little bit. Robert Morris has a kid named Cam Woods, and you may not remember him, but he played for Pinson Valley, won a state championship, played on the team with Kool-Aid McKinstry that won a state championship. He started out at Troy. I think he went to somewhere else after that, then to NC State, and now he's at Robert Morris. I think he's either been to 4 or 5 different places. But I remember watching him play basketball thinking, one day he's going to make Alabama and Auburn wish they had him. I just hope it's not Friday.
All right, we got to go up. We're up against our first break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Why don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
Hello, I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Ready for an unforgettable escape? Jump into adventure at Lake Martin, Alabama. From thrilling water sports to peaceful fishing spots, it's love at first bite every time you cast your line. Want more excitement? Catch an event with our vibrant festivals, concerts, and fishing tournaments all year long. And when the sun sets, dive downtown to discover local shops, delicious dining, and warm southern hospitality. Explore Lake Martin, where every moment is an adventure waiting to happen.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you, taking you up to 9 o'clock this evening. Brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by JR's Sports Bar and Grill. Wonderful place to have lunch or dinner right here in downtown Alexander City. Go and check them out one day this week. Great food, great people, great atmosphere there at JR's Sports Bar and Grill. Alabama still on spring break, or
no? They had
spring
resumed, practice.
Okay, spring and
resumed
practice
today.
We'll go ahead and kind of get this out of the way here. But
can I give you a quick just somebody sent me this, and this is awesome. So Robert Morris, Alabama's first opponent.
I know him well.
Robert Morris. For those who don't, do you know who he is?
No,
I've never heard of Robert Morris before. But he's one of only 2 people to sign the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Articles of Confederation.
Well, there you go.
Roger Sherman of Connecticut was the other, and he also signed the Continental Association and the 1774 Petition to the King.
I'm assuming Robert Morris is probably in New England somewhere?
I mean, he's not in New Mexico, so yeah.
I would think, yeah.
Robert Morris, native of Albuquerque.
Leave it to Alabama. This
anti-American.
Anti-American.
Well, while we're talking about it, we can just go ahead and send the Statue of Liberty back like France wants.
Yeah, good luck with that. Well, okay, back to football. Go segment or two of football, and then we'll get dive in. Obviously, it's basketball. It's coming out of our ears here, but. Spring football for Alabama. Anything going on right now? Note.
We talked about it today on Locked On Bama that the one thing that's probably getting the most chatter is the wide receiver room. 2 new wide receivers, Lightsair Brooks and Derek Meadows, sort of polar opposites. One's 6'6", 200 plus, and one is 5'9", maybe 175. But both of them. Doing big things in practice so far and getting a lot of notoriety. And you have to remember last year Alabama didn't have a lot of receivers, even over 6'8", 6'1", maybe. Caleb Odom was one, but he didn't play a ton, and he's already transferred to Ole Miss. So to have a guy that's 6'6" that you can throw up and get a jump ball to, that's kind of a big deal. The quarterback situation, that is going to be something everybody watches. Ty Simpson, it was announced today, he'll be going to the Manning Passing Academy. But I think right now, I don't know if it's smart money, but I think if you're looking to make a little money, I would place my bets on Keelan Russell being the starter. I think it's safer to say it'll be Ty Simpson, but Keelan Russell looks the part.
Okay. Interesting. Auburn won't start their spring practice until the 25th. So that'll be,
wow.
I think that's next Tuesday. That's when they'll begin that. So that, looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a little weird to do. Alabama started, then had spring break, then came back to it.
Auburn did that last year. I don't know. It was weird.
I don't know if it doesn't affect much of anything. But we talked about one other thing. We talked about the offensive line and who was lined up where, and we talked about some of the guys that are taking the place of Caden Proctor right now because Caden Proctor's a little banged up, and my co-host Jimmy Stein brought up. He said, Caden Proctor, I don't think he's participated in a spring practice at Alabama yet because he transferred and then he went to Iowa, but then came back, but wasn't in time for it was after spring practice or whatever. So I was like, he may have found a dating loophole, like that guy trying to date Elaine who would lose bets on purpose to. But I wonder if that won't become somewhat of a trend that some of these kids, because I said, look, I don't care if Caden Proctor doesn't play in spring practice. As long as it's sort of like a veteran doing OTAs. I just do work out. I know what you can do. I don't need to see you out there. I wonder if some kids are going to start doing that. Now, I'm not saying he's doing that. He's legitimately injured.
Right.
I'm just saying it's not a horrible idea.
Well, what's there going to be to do in spring but practice? There's not going to be any spring games anymore.
No.
It doesn't sound like.
Well, you can just, somebody like Caden Proctor can lift and run, do some drills without actually getting into practice and potentially getting injured if he weren't injured, which ironically he is.
Todd Gack.
Todd Gack. What kind of name is Gack?
I think it's Dutch. Well, anyway, again, spring football, changing, just like everything else in college football. It's just something else to get used to. Not that I cared. I think that there's nothing more meaningless than a spring game anyway, other than just the fact to be able to get fans out and get $1 from them.
There was nothing worse than getting ready, all your food out, waiting for the spring game to come on, and then you realize this sucks.
Yeah.
But now I'm here. Like, you're invested, and you're sort of like, I got to sit it out because what if they play that one guy that somebody told me is going to be a superstar and they never play him?
Yeah. Number one, I never there was never food out for a spring game. Number two,
you don't have to
remember
lie to people.
Spring. I remember Cam Newton. People saying he didn't look that good to me in the spring game. That's all you need to say as far as a spring game.
Well, Auburn had there was some guy that won MVP like 2 years in a row or something, and he never got on the field.
No,
it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, really. Go ahead and take another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Illinois Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillby Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillby Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need. With top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill. And our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. We're brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by Sunshine Heating and Air. For all your heating and cooling needs, give Kevin Kill and his crew a call today. Tremendous service, great products there at Sunshine Heating and Air. It's getting a little warmer, and I say bring it on.
I'm already burning up.
It was a little warm today, but that's okay. I'm good with it. Okay, St. Francis 59, Alabama State 56, 5:40 to go. That one after that, North Carolina and San Diego State. I mean, after all the hullabaloo, do you think North Carolina gets in the?
I don't think so. I don't think North Carolina's any good.
They're really not that good. No,
I mean. It's wild. I mean, in fact, for a minute there, I was like, did North Carolina make the tournament? I was like, yeah, they're number one seed that Alabama beat in the Sweet 16. I don't know that they were that good last year.
Yeah.
I just don't know. They just gave Hubert Davis an extension, so I guess he's not going anywhere. But
well, way to go, Hubie.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how long that extension lasts. All right, let's look at this bracket here. We'll kind of break these down, look at least the SEC teams and who they've got matched up with. Again, Auburn will play the winner of that Alabama State-St. Francis game. It's coming down to the wire.
What's the score?
It's 59-56 was, 60-56 now, St. Francis.
How much time?
About 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
So, we got a little bit of time to go.
It's already March Madness.
This is true. Well, Auburn's, look, I mean – you don't want to look past anybody, Luke. That's what they say.
I'm looking. This is me.
The winner of that Louisville-Creighton game is going to be a challenge. Right out of the gate in that second round.
Kalkbrenner's good for Creighton. He's a very good player. I remember a few of their other players. I don't remember their names off because Alabama played them earlier this year. Louisville, beginning of the year, they weren't that great. but they really stepped it up later on. Now I think they beat Clemson twice. Clemson's a good squad.
Yeah.
They lost to Duke, obviously, and they lost to Duke without. That's another thing about North Carolina. Let me go back to that for a second.
Uh-oh.
So North Carolina, they get in the ACC tournament. They face a Duke team that's without it's arguably his 2 best players. They get way behind. To their credit, they make a monster comeback. They're at the line with an opportunity to tie it. You missed the first one. Then you have a lane violation, not on the guy shooting the free throw, on some other Nimrod that was trying to rebound it. And he made the free throw, but it doesn't count because of the lane violation. I don't know that I've ever seen that before, and that ought to disqualify you from the tournament to begin with.
I'm fine with it. I mean, kick them out. This need not be said, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The only reason they are in the tournament is why
they're North Carolina.
Of course.
Now,
because they're pale blue and they're North Carolina.
And I even said this on the SEC show. Like, it'd be hypocritical of me to say, "Hey, I'm anti-blue blood. I'm pro-blue blood." But at the same time, we're not talking about North Carolina, a great team that should be like a 4 seed.
No.
We're talking about a team that's pretty much a dump truck.
We talking about 11.
And so, yeah, and, West Virginia certainly doesn't carry as much weight as North Carolina.
But West Virginia's pretty doggone good in basketball.
They're not bad. And they also they're in a Power 4 conference. Now, the flip side of that is, and what I keep having to remind myself is, West Virginia did lose to a super bad Colorado team in the Big 12 tournament. Don't do that. If you don't do that and you win that game, I think you're in.
But
I know. I'm just saying.
You're trying to rationalize. I get it.
I'm trying to rationalize because I'm trying to get in their minds. They told us all this stuff about, their record against Quad 1 teams was not good. They're 8-0 against Quad 2. Well, whoopity,
Maybe this is what we should say. Okay, does anybody have a problem with just saying we're going to continue to play these conference tournaments at the end of the year, but the committee's not going to look at anything that happens. It's meaningless as far as that seeding is concerned.
But here, the conferences have the right to determine who's the automatic qualifier, either the conference champ or the tournament champ. And it was the conference champ for a lot of people forever because they were like, yeah, this is the way to do it. And it is the way to do it.
Sure.
But then they looked over there in the SEC and ACC where they were making a ton of money, and they were like, maybe we will need to get some of that money. So that's fine, but what you've done is sold your soul, because now you might get – and here's another thing. Some other teams – everybody talks about bid stealers being like a St. Francis. They're not the bid stealer because their conference champ didn't get in. The bid stealer would be somebody like if LSU had won the SEC tournament. That's a bid stealer. So in a way it sort of helps the bigger schools even more to do it this way. I don't like it. I think the conference champ should be your automatic qualifier, and that should be it. And here's another thing that I've always hated, and I love talking about things I hate.
Pile it on.
I know. Well, I've always hated this when people say, well, they got hot down the stretch. Teams evolve and blah, blah, blah. Making it sound like the first part of the year doesn't matter. See, it should matter. It should matter. And that's why, even as a diehard Alabama fan, I am thankful they gave Auburn the overall number 1 seed, because their resume deserved it, even though down the stretch Auburn has not played well. And their record reflects that. And even though I have no problem saying that they lost to Florida at home. They would have lost to Florida if they'd played in the SEC tournament. Anybody would have lost the Bulls would have lost to Florida. Florida is definitely what most people consider to be the best team in the country right now. But I think it would have been wrong to give them the overall number 1 seed just because they look good now. This is the same Florida team that lost at home to Missouri. It's the same Florida team that had some trouble early on. But it's the same program. It's a different team, that's true. but Auburn should be rewarded for their non-con just like Alabama was rewarded by a 2 seed, even though they have already 8 losses.
Well, I don't mind you looking back and saying, okay, oh, well, let's trace it, and say, oh, yeah, that team was hot down the stretch. They played better in the tournament. Makes sense. Yeah, that's a good observation. Fine. But when it comes to seeding, like you said, there is no point. The whole point in playing the regular season is for that seeding, is to put a resume together to show, the committee, hey, look, this team was the best team all year. Did they play, their best at the end of the year? Did they play their best at the beginning of the year? It's irrelevant. Look at the entire year.
It's the body of work.
Yeah, sure. So
now
I got no problem with that.
And what I do love about this is I think the NCAA did a great job in basically telling the rest of the world, hey, did you guys see what Alabama and Auburn did this year? Auburn had the number 1 strength schedule for a while. It ended up being Alabama. Look, you see what those 2 teams did? That's how you get our respect. Now, you have to win some of those games, certainly. But you get our respect because on top of what they did non-con, on top of the very arduous paths they took in the non-con, the league was incredibly good. Now, next year, it may not be quite so good, but it's still going to be strong. And Alabama and Auburn are already committed to play in both in that Las Vegas tournament that I think is going to have 16 teams. And it's not I don't think it's really I don't know how they're going to do it. It's sort of a round robin kind of thing. I don't know. But the Players' Championship or the Players' Choice or whatever it's called, Alabama did it last year, and it's over Thanksgiving, and I'm going to go to it this next year, I think. And they're already going to have, I know Alabama's going to play Arizona next year. They're going to play Illinois and Chicago. I'm sure Auburn's got some return trips lined up as well. Now, the teams are going to be totally different. I mean, Auburn's losing a lot of people. Alabama's losing a lot of people. But
well, Auburn may not be losing as many as I think.
Well,
it's a thought.
They'll lose Janai Broome.
They'll lose Janai Broome. They'll lose Crawford. I mean not Crawford. Good grief. Dylan Cardwell. God knows he's got to go. He's been there for a while.
Chad Baker-Mazara thinks he's old.
And Chad Baker-Mazara's probably coming back.
There is a little something. This goes back to our if you're 30, you just shouldn't be playing college sports.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
It's probably true.
But regardless, Alabama and Auburn, even not knowing what their teams are going to be, they're going to line up difficult schedules, and that's what everybody needs to do. Don't play a lot of St. Francis's. Play some fun, good games. Play some Dukes and some Illinois and some North Carolinas and some Creightons and do that. I mean, shoot, how much did McNeese State help Alabama's schedule? They're in this thing. They could beat Clemson. I think Will Wade actually went to Clemson.
Did he really?
Well, what I was saying was one thing I do like what the committee does. They always seem to have maybe this happenstance. Maybe it's just coinky-dink. But guess where Rick Pitino's St. John's team is playing its games? Do you know?
I do not.
Providence. Guess who led Providence to the Final Four back in the mid-'80s?
Billy Donovan.
And Coach Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
There was a couple other things in there that I think Will Wade went to Clemson. That's sort of interesting. There's always something like that in there.
I ain't no telling how many statisticians and underwriters that they've got on this committee that are trying to look for these little
knick-knack storylines.
These little storylines that kind of bring out.
Well, think about even Louisville being in Lexington. Is that an advantage for Louisville or is it a disadvantage? Because you would think, well, if it's Lexington and people do show up, and Kentucky is Lexington in particular is a basketball crazy place. They'll probably have a lot of Kentucky people show up just to go against Louisville.
Yeah, just to hate them. Yeah.
So
up against another break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
You've
dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone, 256-750-0381, or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Just a couple of more segments left in the first hour of tonight's program. Again, St. Francis and Alabama State coming down to the wire. It was 30 seconds to play, tied ball game. I don't know.
Waiting to hear from our producer back there.
No disgruntled yells from the booth. So I guess maybe it's still going on. We'll continue on with this. How about Texas A&M and Yale? I mean, it's not a coincidence they put Yale in Auburn's bracket, right?
Probably not.
And look, I mean, I know everybody's looking at that
same seed too,
Louisville and Creighton, but I'm saying I'm concerned about Texas A&M.
Texas A&M's
that's
pretty
a roadblock for Auburn.
Well, and I mean that's the one coach that seems to have Bruce Pearl's number.
Yes, it is.
I wonder what his record is against him. I think Nate Oates has like a 1-game lead on Bruce Pearl, maybe, or
they did because I think that
the last one made it, or maybe a 2-game. I can't remember.
It may be 2 now because I think it was going to be.
Yeah, I think it was good. But I would love to know what Buzz Williams' record is against him, because it feels like Buzz has done pretty well against him.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's true. I'm just because Texas A&M really hadn't been this like super threat in the conference. But I remember a few years ago, Texas A&M beat Auburn at Auburn when Auburn was very good. Like it was random.
Yeah.
And obviously they beat them this year. Did they beat them last year? Do you know?
I think I'm not sure. Well, I think we may have split last year.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Ole Miss, the 6th seed in that bracket as well. They'll play the winner of that North Carolina San Diego State game.
Well, the reactions from our producer, it's very difficult to – it's like watching a bad mime. We can't hear him. We're not really sure who he's for or what he's mad or if he's happy.
Look, Iowa State missing their best player.
Well, and I'll tell you what sucks about that. They didn't let it be known until after they were selected.
again,
That's a little disingenuous.
Why are you penalizing the other guys? I mean, look, they worked hard to get to where they are.
True, but I think I would say, look, it's a lot like, to me, Florida State losing their quarterback, or Georgia losing their quarterback. Now, Georgia ended up winning the SEC championship, so you had nowhere else to put them but where you put them. But if you lose your point guard, who's arguably your best player, remember when Cincinnati lost Kenyon Martin?
I do.
I feel like that count. It's not like you lost to nobody. I would say the same thing, honestly. Luckily, Grant, I've done that like 10 times. Grant Nelson's going to be fine. But if Grant Nelson were hurt and couldn't play in the tournament, I'd even say, I could see the argument to make Alabama a 3, even with all the other accolades I've talked about. Maybe just dock them a spot.
Right.
But, and if they had lost Mark Sears, I could see it going to say, you're not the same team. Now, you're still in the tournament. You still got a shot, but you got to be it from the 4 seed instead of the 2 seed. I kind of understand that because you are depending on you're judging it on, hey, this was your team. And
you could argue that. The 3 seed is a penalty because they were one of the better teams Auburn played.
Yeah, but they had some losses down the stretch that they shouldn't have had. Yeah,
they did. Michigan State, the 2 seed in Auburn's bracket. That's a
tricky one. Tom Izzo either goes to the Final Four or bows out early. It seems like
they're a good team, no doubt. Florida is the 1 seed in the West. They've got a second round matchup with a UConn or an Oklahoma. How about a Florida UConn in the second round? My goodness, that you talk about. That's tough.
That's tough. But I just wouldn't want to play Florida right now. This isn't last year's UConn team. This is a good UConn team.
Sure.
But they ain't got the same dudes.
No. Oh, there's no guarantee they'll beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
All right. Memphis, who Auburn has played this year in the Maui Invitational. Let's see. How about Missouri and Drake?
Now, Memphis, is an underdog to Colorado State, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Colorado State's 1.5.
As a 12.
Is that?
Well, what that tells you is, and it's just like everybody had a fit about Louisville being an 8 seed.
70. But see, Alabama State up 70-68.
First in overtime or
in the regulation?
Okay.
Just like a half a second left or something.
Oh wow. Okay, so like a lot of people freaked out saying, no way Louisville should be an 8 seed because they're ranked 10th or 12th in the country. But see, I think what the committee does is go, yeah, they may be ranked 12th. AP has nothing to do with this. Also, by the way, Duke is number 1. They're not our number 1.
Yeah.
And you look at Louisville's body of work and you say, okay, yeah, they did better late. But, they aren't awesome. The whole conference isn't awesome, for the ACC. It's just not good.
Sure.
So I get that. In fact, Clemson, who didn't make the finals of the ACC, they got a 5th seed, and Louisville gets an 8, and then North Carolina gets an 11. Duke gets to 1. Does anybody else in the ACC make it? I don't think so.
That sounds about right. Yeah, game's over. Alabama State wins. Alabama and Auburn, Alabama State and Auburn. So that's
and let me tell you something.
Good.
If you're Kentucky, watch out for Troy. Watch out. I'm telling you, that's one of my upset picks. I think Troy can beat them. Really? I just think Kentucky's they're on borrowed time, and they got so many injuries. Now, that Amari Williams, he's a beast. But if you don't have any guards, you're in trouble.
This is true. Missouri and Drake. Drake won, 30 games?
They were 30-3.
So look out. Missouri, that's no guarantee.
Here's a
6-11's ripe for an upset.
Here's the Luke Robinson pick of the week for the year, or pick of the year for the week. That's what it is, something like that. Take Missouri. Everybody is taking Drake. I've been listening to national broadcast, and they're like, Drake's going to beat Missouri. I'm not worried about it. Drake's going to beat Missouri. Take Missouri.
If you bust my bracket, I'm coming after you.
Oh, no.
All right, we got to take another break. We'll be back with more. One final segment in the first hour. It's flown by right after this.
Hello, this is Little Mo right here with you from DLR Us Auto Sales. At DLR Us, we have multiple sedans and SUVs. Come see us at 33445 U.S. Highway 280, Childersburg, Alabama, 35044. Call us at 256-267-3257. Let's make a deal, people. Our down payment is based on $500 down. With the approval of credit, we make it happen. We work with you. We got the choice for you, and we make the right deal.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union, is looking for the next hometown hero. Hometown heroes could be first responders, public service workers, community leaders, pastors, community volunteers, or anyone who is making a difference in your hometown. Submit your nominations now online at myhscu.com. And if your nominee is selected, they will get a $100 Visa cash card and a certificate of appreciation from Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union, federally insured by the NCUA.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
Red Flag Pest Control is Central Alabama's best in pest control with hometown service in Lake Martin and now the greater Montgomery area. When you see pests, throw down the red flag. Termites, bed bugs, carpenter bees, mosquitoes, or general pests. Red Flag gets the job done at the right price for your home or business. At Lake Martin, call 888-943-0353 or in Montgomery, 334-265-1831. Red Flag, the best in pest control in Central Alabama.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. Alabama State making it to the NCAA tournament. They make it quite often, it seems like. I bet over the last, 20 years they've made it.
Isn't Auburn playing them in baseball right now, too?
I think they might be. That is a good call. So maybe a little double dip there. Auburn and Alabama State to kick things off. That one on Thursday. Okay. How about a Kansas-Arkansas matchup in the first round? Kansas is a 4.5 favorite there, but that could be very interesting. I would not put it past Arkansas to find themselves in a second-round matchup with the Johnnies.
Well, here's the other thing. I saw a report that Boogie Flan may be back for the tournament. And, that could be interesting. Now, he's might be rusty, all those things. He's still awesome. And I like Arkansas to win that game. I think that's one of the best first-round games.
Yeah.
Because, it's one of the best first-round names, two name teams. St. Mary's Vandy is supposed to be good because maybe some contrasting styles or whatever. But that doesn't carry the same weight. Arkansas, Kansas, round one, that's a big deal. And then the winner plays St. John's. So it'd either be Calipari or Bill Self against Pitino. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. That sounds like a Final Four matchup.
Yeah.
In yesteryear, Arkansas and all right. Duke plays whoever to be announced. Mississippi State and Baylor. You know anything about?
Well, I know Baylor won
a couple or they won a national championship a couple of years ago, several years ago, 3-4 years ago.
Maybe a little longer than that.
Okay.
But
has it been that long? 19 and 14. Yeah.
I mean, they've got VJ Edgecombe, who's a very good player. He's a top NBA prospect. I'm going to tell you something. If Cooper Flagg is not 100% and Mississippi State gets by Baylor, Mississippi State could beat Duke. I believe that. Now, if Cooper Flagg's there, it's going to be difficult. Cooper Flagg, it's going to be tough for anybody. I mean, he's, again, I would have given Player of the Year, or I don't guess it's been given out yet, but I would probably give it to Janai Broome because he, the schedule and all this other stuff and body of work. The best player in the country is Cooper Flagg. Player of the Year and best player aren't exactly the same thing.
Not really.
But Cooper Flagg, I think.
I don't know. Is the Player of the Year an MVP award, or is it an individual? Is it a Heisman, or is it an MVP? I don't think I've ever seen.
I don't think it's ever really been. The National Player of the Year thing in basketball. The Heisman is like sort of its own entity. It's like this whole other thing, right? All the other MVPs of various sports don't seem to carry the same weight. You say Heisman, like everybody knows what you mean, but I mean, who in the world knows who won the most valuable player in college basketball or Player of the Year 6 years ago? You know what I'm saying? But you could go back in your head and think about Heismans, and if somebody ever wins a Heisman, you're like, it's unfair that it's that way. It should not be that way for every sport, but it just is. The Heisman is just taking on a life of its own. But, I would
What is the Heisman? That's an individual award, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, it's all about statistics. Everybody knows what that's about.
It is and it isn't. I mean, it is in this. It's statistics, but at the same time, you got to win some games.
Sure, I get that.
It's been wasn't the only player to win with a losing record was one of the
Horning.
Notre Dame. Yeah,
Paul Horning.
Paul Horning, I think that's right. So, again, who would you vote for? Would you vote for Broome?
Again, I mean, if you're voting for most valuable player, I think it's Broome. But if you're voting for the best player overall, who's going to have the best NBA career, I think there's no doubt it's probably Cooper Flagg.
I'll say this about it too. If you put Flagg on Auburn, I think they're pretty incredible. You put Broome on Duke, I think Duke's still very good. I'm not sure Duke is as good. Broome would have had a feast in the ACC, but Cooper Flagg would have kicked butt too. I mean, Trey Johnson, who's a great freshman at Texas, didn't he lead the league in scoring? And I think Cooper Flagg probably could have done that. Playing on a more up-tempo conference. I think we got a phone caller.
Okay.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Kyle from Phoenix City, an Alabama fan.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I was wondering if they have a report on Grant Nelson's injury for Alabama.
Yes, Nate Oates came out yesterday even and said that they feel like he will be back by at least Sunday. They don't know about Friday, doubtful for Friday probably, but it sounds to me if Alabama were, let's say it were an 8-9 game, I'd be willing to bet Grant Hill would play Friday. But because it's a 15-2 game, my guess is Grant Hill won't play Friday.
Grant Nelson.
I keep saying Grant Hill. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, why not just say Ulysses S. Grant? Grant.
Thank you, sir.
All right, buddy. Have a good day. I've been doing that, and I mean,
they look nothing alike.
They look nothing alike. They spell and pronounce their names differently. But anyway, Grant Nelson. I think if Alabama had to have him for Friday, they would. But
what did they say the injury was? Did you say?
A knee, and they got it checked out. Huh?
Just a tweak?
Well, I think he just sort of a
meniscus tweak.
I don't know that they said anything like that. What Nate Oates said was we dodged a bullet.
Okay. Well,
it could have been, initially they were thinking, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And I also believe this, that you look. Some people were worried Mark Sears was hurt. I think, again, I doubt he'd ever admit it, but I think it was one of those things where Saturday when Alabama was playing Florida and it got out of hand in the second half really quickly, I think Nate Oates was like, look, this doesn't matter. I'd rather have sit Mark, don't get him hurt, and don't wear him out, and let some of these other guys maybe get a little bit of playing time. And, and Florida's going to bury us, but so be it. And, again, it doesn't matter. We talked about that. And, I mean, this is not me discounting what Florida did. What they did was awesome. They beat the crap out of 3 straight teams. It's really cool. They're a great team. I would pick them, I'm probably going to pick them to win the national championship. But in the end, it's not that big of a thing. I think Nate Oates was like looking bigger picture, which I'm down with.
Yeah. I've been on the other side of this, and I used to argue this the other way. But y'all have swung me over with the the whole. You win 3 games. It's impressive. I mean, but why do we look at it? And it's just kind of human nature to look at it and say, "Oh, well, that team's playing, they're playing better than everybody else. Therefore, they're better than everybody else." Well, no, I look back and I see. I mean, it's like, well, was what Auburn did that not count about it? But if for anything,
I've been trying to tell you.
They did 18 games, man.
Let me also say this. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, right? If Auburn loses in the second round or in the third round even, very wrongly, I was going to say rightly or wrongly, but very wrongly, people are going to look at this season as a failure.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I can't stand it. I'm just saying Alabama did that, number 1 overall seed, won the SEC tournament. Brandon Miller was awesome. They lose in the Sweet 16. And they lost to a team, by the way, that played for the national championship.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, that team they kind of underachieved. I'm like, y'all must not have been here when I was here from the mid-90s on into wherever Nate Oates is.
Yeah. Look, man, I do a show.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm going to be disappointed if we don't make the Elite 8.
We used to
That's
not
the truth.
talk about basketball.
No.
So I'm telling people, man, this is the sweet times, baby. Y'all got to deal with this.
It's true. All right, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of Sports Blitz Live, hour number 2, right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
Ready for an unforgettable escape? Jump into adventure at Lake Martin, Alabama. From thrilling water sports to peaceful fishing spots, It's love at first bite every time you cast your line. Want more excitement? Catch an event with our vibrant festivals, concerts, and fishing tournaments all year long. And when the sun sets, dive downtown to discover local shops, delicious dining, and warm southern hospitality. Explore Lake Martin, where every moment is an adventure waiting to happen.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Take your pick of a massive selection of brand new GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,250 off. New GMC Terrains, the popular SUV featuring safety, technology, and performance, discounted up to $7,500 off. Enjoy no payments until summertime. Choose from over 500 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way. GlennSmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to hour number 2 of Sports Blitz Live on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. I am Andy Graham alongside Luke Robinson. We'll be with you for another hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the wide world of sports. Luke, we were talking about the NCAA tournament, as they say. Alabama down here in the East going to play Robert Morris. We've established that he is a national hero.
He's a treasure. Never heard of him before tonight. That's
no.
Way to go, American education system.
Really. I'm the one team that I like here in this to maybe upset is maybe BYU. I think BYU's got a good chance to beat Wisconsin.
BYU
in round 2.
Yeah, but now look out for VCU and BYU.
You always look out for VCU.
You got to look. It's just,
I mean,
right
that's the
right
common,
behind you.
That's right.
But VCU, BYU, that's going to be an interesting game. And again, it's not a sexy game, but it could be fun. BYU also gets up and down the court. I would love to see Alabama play BYU. That'd be a lot of fun.
Everybody's already penciling in St. Mary's too.
Vandy.
Be careful of a Vandy, man.
And that Mark Byington's a good coach. And, yeah, St. Mary's also, it's interesting, Alabama's bracket. And I don't think this is by coincidence. So they play a Robert Morris team that, doesn't exactly move at the same pace. And then they play a St. Mary's team that's even slower than that. And then they could play a Wisconsin team that, while Wisconsin is probably more up-tempo than they normally are, they only scored 50-something points in the Big Ten championship game.
Right.
So, Alabama could have to go against some very contrasting styles to get to the Elite Eight.
Yeah. Okay, Midwest. Houston, the number 1 seed there. Right out of the gate, Georgia and Gonzaga. Again, everybody's going to be tempted, and rightly so, to put Gonzaga on into the second round. Georgia Bulldogs.
Asa Newell's a dude now.
He is.
I love LeBaron Philon, love Todd Pettiford, but Trey Johnson and Asa Newell were two of the best freshmen in the conference, probably the 2 best freshmen in the conference. And if I'm missing somebody, let me know. Jeremiah Fears is good. I don't know. Maybe that's it. But regardless, Asa Newell's a problem.
Yeah.
But I like Gonzaga here anyway. And now the thing about this bracket that's so interesting, I mean, if you're Houston, Tennessee, you got to be looking at each other like the Spider-Man meme. My buddy Jimmy Stein said that, like, you're him. No, you're me. I'm you and whatever.
Yeah.
Because they both just got grown men all over the court. I don't know. I mean, what they feed people at Houston and Tennessee, but they are just beefy dudes. Now, they don't get up and down the court a ton, and they don't run the score up, but and it's not always pretty. But that's not. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. That's why I'm glad Alabama did not beat Florida. Not that it was ever in doubt, but had Alabama squeaked that out and had to play Tennessee next game, I mean, I can just see a beat up Alabama team coming in there and just catching elbows all day. Yeah. And I was like, I just don't want to do that. You know, same thing. It could have been the same thing if Auburn had beaten Tennessee. You catch Florida on the wrong time. All of a sudden, you might not be the overall number 1 seed. You know, if Florida had won big enough, I mean, and Florida now would have 2 wins over Auburn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, sometimes it works out in the tournament that you don't make the finals.
It's true. You mentioned Clemson and McNeese.
Yep.
Clemson is a 7.5-point favorite, but McNeese, not bad.
They're not bad. I mean, Alabama played them earlier this year, and they gave Alabama fits. I mean, Will Wade's a good coach. I mean, we can laugh about him, and we all heard the recordings. But, by the way, all that stuff's out the window now, and now you can even use NIL deals to entice recruits. So forget it. I mean, just nobody come at me with any of that stuff anymore. It doesn't matter.
That's true. Purdue and High Point. How come everybody keeps talking about High Point?
I don't know, and again, that's going to be. I'm going to use the same line of thinking that you should just go ahead and pick Purdue because I've seen High Point as a trendy pick, and I just don't think it's going to happen.
Illinois will find they'll another play-in matchup. Kentucky and Troy.
It'll be Illinois, Texas potentially, right?
It could be. Okay, interesting.
And that would be a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that game.
Kentucky, Troy. You mentioned that. Kentucky is an 11.5-point favorite. You say be wary of Troy here.
I do. I say be
23-10 on the year.
I say be very wary of Troy.
Be very wary. Very wary. Okay. UCLA and Utah State.
Now, let me ask you this.
7-10 matchup. Those 7-10 matchups are anybody's game.
I do want to ask this. Why those two seem like they're in the same geographical region? You know, I mean, like, why wouldn't you have another 7? I don't know how to change my bracket here. Why wouldn't you have another 7 or another 10? Like, mix it up a little bit. Why 2 West Coast teams there? Like, VCU and BYU aren't even in the same zip code. I mean, they're almost different. Complete countries.
Yeah, okay.
Now, BYU is a different country than a lot of places, but Alabama, Robert Morris, completely diametrically opposed. Now, Auburn, Alabama State, but that's only by happenstance because St. Francis didn't win. You know, Texas, Illinois, potentially. Ole Miss, North Carolina, potentially. I'm just thinking of some matchup. Gonzaga and Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, Louisville and Creighton. I mean, why? It just feels like I just don't like that. I feel like it's giving West Coast teams like saying, we'll keep you West Coast teams over there. No, make them come over here or go somewhere else. Where are they even playing this?
That's a good question. And to be fair, Utah is really not that close. I mean, there's some I mean,
there's some space.
It's not exactly like it's like right next door.
It's not next door.
That's in Rupp Arena. No,
that's in Rupp?
Yeah, it's 3. That's 625 in Rupp.
But I'm saying I'd like to see 2 pretty opposite geographical teams meet up that wouldn't normally play.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I wonder how many times UCLA and Utah State have ever played.
I don't know, but it just feels like that's close enough to being 2 Pac-12 teams to me. That's too close to 2 Pac-12 teams.
If that actually existed anymore, right?
I know what you're saying.
All right, got to take another break. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Discover great deals on Kawasaki motorcycles, watercraft, side-by-sides, and more. Save big on championship-proving KX motorcycles. Get a great deal on iconic Kawasaki jet ski personal watercraft, or take advantage of big adventure for less with savings on our rugged Terex side-by-sides. There's no better time to save on our exciting lineup of Kawasaki vehicles. Visit Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard today, or see all the Kawasaki products at adamsmotorsports.com, where your pleasure is our business.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SCC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Thank you so much for being with us. All right, give me your upset or your dark horse to make it maybe to the Sweet 16. Or who's your biggest upset that'll actually win more than one game?
Boy, I'll tell you, I don't know if I've got one like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just, I look at I can't ever pull the trigger on it because if you miss, you're busted. But I'll tell you something I do recognize that you want to talk about the Rick Pitino effect. CBS is going to carry Omaha St. John's as their primetime game at 6:45 on Thursday night. Right. I mean, now they could have chosen between Drake, Missouri. They could have had they actually have CBS also has Arkansas, Kansas. Am I reading it? Maybe it's 8:45. Doesn't matter. 8:45. Close enough. It's still prime time. That's a big deal. That the 15-2 with St. John's, who hadn't peed a drop in God knows how long, taking on Omaha. Pretty big deal.
I didn't even know Omaha had a basketball team.
I know. Well, and then Arkansas, Kansas is going to be on before that. It's pretty awesome. But, I'm just looking through the list here, and I'm trying to remember my bracket off the top of my head. I don't have I just don't pull a lot of huge upsets because, frankly, I don't pull for them. I'm going to tell you the truth.
That's why you're always the one that's just got red littered throughout their black bracket on
That's probably so. But I'm looking at Friday. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I know it's 5-12, but Memphis is a 2-point underdog to Colorado State. I think Memphis may go to the Sweet 16. I think Vandy, I know it's only a 10-7, I think Vandy could make some noise. I mean, and they could certainly give Alabama all they want. One game that you always have to watch out, you have to watch out Michigan State. They are a threat to lose at 15-2.
That's true.
Now, they're playing Bryant this year. They missed a golden opportunity to let Alabama play Bryant, right? Didn't they? I mean, they should have just done that.
I mean, that would have made better sense.
Does anybody have any idea where Bryant is, by the way?
I don't think so. The NCAA has agreed to permanently drop its rule prohibiting athletes from negotiating the terms of name, image, and likeness payments until after they enroll in school. This is coming out yesterday. The changes One of the terms of a legal settlement announced Monday between the NCAA and a group of state attorneys general who sued the association last year, claiming that the restriction on NIL negotiations violated federal antitrust law. The funniest paragraph in this whole article is this one. Despite efforts to keep money from becoming an inducement, many coaches have publicly stated that NIL packages are a major factor in the decision-making process of recruits.
I mean, shocking.
I mean, are many coaches are saying that? I'm aghast.
I mean, they had remember the Ohio State coach a few years ago? He was like, there was a video of him saying, "This is how much y'all can make. If you're here, this is what you can do." And like nobody did anything. And again, we were like, okay, that's fine, but that's just the start. You have opened up the whole can, and
it's a box, it's a can, it's all of it. It's everywhere.
It's a box in a can, in a box. I mean,
so what? I mean, what does this mean? What does this ruling mean? That I mean, you can continue to negotiate up until you enroll in school. I mean, what have they been doing up until this point?
How long before? Again, just if you're Coca-Cola, if you say, you know what, we're not doing so well in the Midwest, so we would really love it for you, a five-star athlete, to sign a deal with us, and we want to put you at Notre Dame. And well, they don't fit my system. Well, I know, but we're going to pay you $27 million. Now they fit my system.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just saying, how long before sponsors dictate where somebody goes to school? And you can say that maybe some of that already happens. I don't know, but how long before it's just so out in the open that I don't know. It's a different sport than we all do, and part of me is very sad about it. Part of me is very curious to see where this goes, because I'm going to tell you something. We always seem to screw things like this up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hey, I'll say it again. At one point, horse racing was the most popular sport in the country. At one point, boxing was the most popular sport in the country. At one point, baseball was the most popular sport in the country. I mean, every dog has his day, but everything that goes up must come down. So,
you think football's coming down anytime soon?
No, I don't. But I'm saying this could be the kind of thing that could potentially turn it on its head. Somehow, some way, the NFL is immune.
Yeah.
I mean, they can do anything. They have people commit heinous crimes, and they're like, yeah, but that boy can catch, or that boy can tackle.
Well, it's like, I mean, it's like it's wrapped. I don't know. It's against itself. I mean, it's against its self-interest. It's like, okay, if you want to say, let's have all, open up the door completely. Like, I'm sorry, open up the door. Door's been kicked in. The door's hanging. The door's like, it looks like that screen door that Kramer had on his in front of his apartment. Okay, that door has been kicked in. But, as far as guys capitalizing, as far as men, women, children, capitalizing on their NIL. But if you're the school, then, I mean, there's got to be some way you could divest the school from that to say, okay, look, nobody's stopping you from doing it. You do it. But you say, okay, well, you just can't let them do it free fall. You got to hold their hand, and you got to facilitate it for them. And that's when all this comes in, where you're basically, the school is paying them. But if you just say, okay, athlete, you do that. You come here. We'll make you a star because we're going to be really good. We're going to put good players around you, and we're going to win a lot of football games. And maybe that's when they start to capitalize. Okay, so-and-so, I'm very popular on TV all the time. Yeah, okay, yeah. Coca-Cola wants to give me a wants to give me a contract. Wonderful, but that's your business. You go ahead and do that. Well, then you get into these agents and nefarious scoundrels start, hovering around. And so I don't know what. There's no good answer here.
You talked for 5 minutes. I have no idea what you said, although I know exactly what you said. That's what's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's the thing. It's just incredibly confusing. And I also understand the hypocrisy of mine and Andy sitting up here railing against, there's too many transfers and money. Well, guess what? If we didn't have transfers, guess where Alabama and Auburn would be in basketball? Not the number 1 and number 2 seeds in this tournament. I mean, Janai Broome,
sure.
Mark Sears, Grant Nelson, Chad Baker-Mazara. I mean, it's just it's transfer after Denver Jones. It's just transfer after transfer after transfer.
Chaney Johnson.
Chris Youngblood. I mean, it just goes on and on into the night.
Sure. I got no problem with transfers. But again.
But why do you think they're transferring?
But that's my point. Say, okay, if you could get it all, I mean, if you could get everybody to agree. And again, that's where the antitrust comes in. But everybody's got to say, look, you got to quit paying the guy. You got to quit offering them to come to play sports there. We got to get back to under the table, $100 handshakes.
We're begging to go back to that?
Can we go back? Anyway, all right, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Alex City and west side of the lake. It's time to celebrate because the all-new Lake Martin Pizza is open with the area's best pizza, and it's just down Highway 63 South in our town. Lake Martin Pizza of Highway 63 has a huge outdoor seating area with enclosed heated comfort, a full bar with cold beer, wine, and full spirit selection with family ownership and fun for the whole family. Dine in or pick up. It's just a short drive to our town and is hands down the area's best pizza. Like us on Facebook to see upcoming live entertainment and watch sports on our 360 wraparound TVs. Rejoice! Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63 is ready for you.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone 256-750-0381 or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
This spring and summer, make your land, farming, lawn, and landscaping needs have zero risk and 100% success with Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. With 0% financing on all our Mahindra tractors, many with up to 84-month terms. Our inventory of Mahindra tractors and farm implements is beefed up, and more are coming in daily. We also have extended 0% terms on Spartan mowers to handle your mowing needs with the best and zero-turn mowers priced to move. At Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, your authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Andrew McGreer at Dunning Roofing. At Dunning Roofing, we specialize in high-quality, premium roofs. We don't build roofs that just meet code requirements. We build quality roofs with premium materials that significantly exceed our competitors' warranties. We put money on your roof, not in our pockets. If you're looking for a top-quality roof, call Dunning Roofing today for your free quote at 256-307-7601 or visit us at DunningRoofingAL.com for more information.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Just a couple more segments left in tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. Thanks to our sponsors as well. We're talking about anything and everything. Look, SEC baseball going on right now. How about the Alabama Crimson Tide? 20-1, 3-0. Who did they play last week?
Texas A&M.
Okay,
They started out
swept them.
season number one, like preseason number one. But Texas A&M's kind of had a hard off season. But yeah, it's still huge, and they're playing South Alabama right now. There's midweek games. Alabama's up 5-4 in the 7th. Auburn's up 10-8 over Alabama State. These midweek games just get you.
Well, you throw your young pitchers.
Yeah. So who's Auburn have this weekend?
Auburn has to go on the road to Kentucky.
Okay.
Kentucky, I think they're like number 25, 20.
They're not bad.
They're not bad.
And I think Alabama's at home against –
Alabama is at home against Tennessee. Ooh.
Is that this weekend?
That is this weekend.
Wow.
So big time.
Because Tennessee should be number one.
Tennessee is number one.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. Sure. Tennessee, just kind of picking up where they left off.
Yeah, they got dudes.
They're not bad.
If you're Alabama, you're sort of hoping just don't get swept.
Well, I think at home you got to be thinking.
At baseball,
let's take 2 or 3.
You would love to take 2 or 3, but you definitely just don't give back a sweep you just got.
Exactly. Yeah, no doubt that is ultimately what you want to do. 4 teams swept, so which means 4 teams got swept. That's Carl Ravitch, man.
That's some Carl Ravitch stuff, yeah.
Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, and Texas were the teams that swept. How about Florida getting swept? That's rarely ever happened to start a season. And they're the number 13 team in the country, by the way.
Yep.
Well, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Mizzou. Missouri, I don't know. They just can't seem to get it together.
Who'd they lose to?
I'm not sure, but they got swept.
Doesn't matter.
But I'm talking about softball and baseball. They're like the bottom of the conference of both. Why is that?
I don't know.
Nobody
knows. It's a great mystery.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. But 11 teams in the top 25.
Is there something we
SEC
don't
baseball.
dominate with the SEC?
I don't
and
think so.
Somebody be a smart ass and say football. We've dominated football.
Yeah, of course. Trying to think. Arkansas, they do the outdoor track and field.
Softball, you're not going.
Yeah. Now, we said, Oklahoma and Texas got really good, and we said, how about you just come over and join us?
Yeah.
We'll just take you, absorb you. So they're 1-2, and they've come in and not been a disappointment, at least so far, Oklahoma and Texas. In softball, Oklahoma, it's a shocker, 26-0. They are 6-0 in the SEC to begin there.
Who did they sweep? Do we know?
Does it matter?
Nah. Whoever they played, whoever they will play.
Yeah. Until they play Texas, might be a 2-1. I don't know. We'll see. But, it's kind of, broken up. Again, Vanderbilt, why do you not have a softball program?
That is weird. They need to just go ahead and do that.
They screw everything up. It's out of balance. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
We could balance this thing by getting them out of here and then bringing Clemson in.
No, that could.
Or somebody like
Florida
that.
State.
UNC.
North Carolina.
What I was told, and this does make a lot of sense, that if the SEC were to expand again, and the conventional wisdom is everybody will expand again probably in like 2030 or 2031 or something. Just when we get settled with what we got, they'll target Virginia and North Carolina. That's who they'll target. And the reason being, of course, 2 new markets, and because if you get Clemson, you get Florida State. That's what makes a lot of sense. But what did you really gain? I don't know that you gained a lot. So, but I would
Miami be? That's a pretty big market, isn't it?
Yeah, but
are you getting Florida with that market?
I don't. Yeah, I think that's their thinking. Now we got 2 in the. Now maybe they're also like, well, we can't kick a Mississippi State or a Vanderbilt out, or an Auburn or an Alabama, some teams that already have two in the same state. But we're not getting any more with two in the same state. Texas A&M, that's a different animal. That's one of the bigger states in the union. It's a big deal. But it's not like we're going to go get Oklahoma State,
Right.
And even though Clemson, obviously, historically, over the last several years, especially, has been better than South Carolina in a lot of sports, it doesn't do us any good to go get them. It doesn't do us any good to get Florida State. I mean, what are they really bringing?
What is Virginia? I mean,
Virginia is a whole new market. Virginia's just like Missouri.
I know that, but I mean, they're never going to be able to compete.
Oh, I don't think so either. And part of me is like, that's good. We need a couple of softballs in here. What's North Carolina going to do? Frankly, I mean, let's give North Carolina more time on this basketball thing. Their recruiting isn't going gangbusters or anything. Let's see what happens here. They may be falling well off. And it may be cool to get them from a market standpoint. Football-wise, yeah, they got Bill Belichick. I think he just flipped a 4-star commitment from A&M today or something, and more power to him. They ain't going to have the horses to play in this.
He is like 70-something.
He's got like a 24-year-old girrldriend, though.
What,
Did you see a picture like him on the beach, like doing the airplane, you do with your kids? Have you, like kids always, you lean back.
Yeah, I got you.
And he's doing that with her? That is creepy.
Yeah, well, more power to him, like you say.
I mean, look, if I were his age, I would be all in. At my age, I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But if I was him, it's like Louis C.K. had a great bit. He said, now that I'm in my 40s, I need a woman in her 30s. When I'm in my 50s, I need a woman in her 40s. When I'm in my 60s, woman in her 50s. When I'm 70, I need a 22-year-old. She's not even born yet. Could be in the audience. Y'all could be making her tonight.
Wow. You talk about creepy.
Yeah. Especially coming from Louis C.K.
Yeah, really. All right. Mississippi State at Northwestern, Ole Miss, Alabama at Texas A&M softball. Alabama not, 21-9, 1-2.
They played a tough schedule, but they've had some bad losses. They lost 2 out of 3 to Mississippi State.
Auburn just cannot say they're close, but they just cannot sing. It's going to be a struggle this year. The pitching is just not there. And they go to Austin this weekend.
Almighty.
That's going to be tough for sure. Arkansas at Tennessee. And again, Texas Tech at South Carolina calls. There is no Vandy.
Texas Tech.
Yeah, because
there's nobody
no
to play. Yeah.
All right, so we got to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more.
One final
Sports Blitz Live. 2 more right after this. I was told we couldn't do that anymore.
If you're tired of the same old, and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindawa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Main Street
Tree Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care, open 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
SignSource is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Just a couple of more segments left in tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Thank you to JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air for all your heating, cooling, whatever your needs might be. All right, happy birthday yesterday, St. Paddy's Day. Kurt Russell. Grew up on a lot of Disney movies, went on to become, and is still a fine actor. Big Trouble in Little China.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Just awesome.
I can't. I remember going, it was a flop at the theater.
Huge
flop. I have no clue how that is even possible. It's such a great movie. But anyway, Backdraft.
Also great.
Great movie. Tombstone.
Also great.
Tremendous great. Miracle.
Yeah, it's also
very good. Escape from New York.
Great, but I'm taking points off of it because they also had Escape from L.A. where he's surfing out of the.
Yeah, that hurt it. I ain't gonna lie.
It was so dumb.
It was not good.
What was his name? Snake
Plissken.
Plissken, yeah. I think I got to go Big Trouble in Little China 1, Tombstone 2. I know.
Wow.
I'd probably watch, I don't know if both of them are on. It's a tie.
I'd watch them both at the same time.
I'd watch them simultaneously, yeah. Split screen, yeah. There's no other way to do it.
The shocking thing about this is I'm probably putting Miracle last on this list.
I'm putting Escape from New York last. I mean, I got to docket something. I got to docket some points, man. I'm sorry. I mean,
well, Big Trouble in Little China is my favorite. Tombstone Backdraft may be the best film.
Yeah. It's a Ron Howard, isn't it?
It is. Very, very good, very dramatic. And, I mean, all-star cast. Bob De Niro's in it. One of the Baldwins, Scott Glenn.
Even the guy who ended up being the bad guy.
Scott Glenn.
That's Scott Glenn, okay.
Yeah. Who was also in Silverado.
Yeah. Silverado's great. Yeah.
Very good. But Tombstone, man, I mean.
Tombstone's good.
It doesn't get much better than that.
When, what's his name? Help me.
I don't know.
Starts with a V.
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. He starts doing the cup around his finger. That's pretty awesome.
That is pretty funny. All right, Gary Sinise.
God, he was sick as a mule throughout that whole movie, wasn't he?
He was dying of tuberculosis, and he did it well. And now, I mean, you know, he kind of came full circle.
Yeah. Was he dead of tuberculosis?
He can't talk though. He's like had his throat ripped out.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, did you not see Maverick?
For a role?
No. I think that was in real life.
Okay.
Gary Sinise, born on St. Patty's Day as well.
Oh, he's great.
Born on this day, 1955. Lieutenant Dan.
That's just awesome.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I read this a little bit before. You have Forrest Gump on there, which makes it sound like that's almost like some of our Alabama fans' children's. You're a Forrest Gump. You cannot be anything but a Gump.
Sometimes I don't look, I say it. It may be right, it may not. Yeah.
Man, I'm going to tell you, doing voice text with Siri in the South is dangerous.
It's true. Try it with a computer. I mean, the Apple is actually much better than probably my software on my hard drive. Forrest Gump, Apollo 13.
Forrest Gump's better.
Snake Eyes. Did you say that?
I did, yeah.
That's like a cult classic.
Yeah, it's not bad.
People
but
like
Forrest
that.
Gump's better.
I would agree. Imposter. That's actually really good.
Okay.
It's a dystopian future
where he's an imposter.
And I don't want to ruin it for you, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
The whole movie is him. He's married to Madeline Stowe. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, Madeline Stowe.
Madeline Stowe. She's in a lot. A movie called China Moon. Madeline Stowe's in it. Ed Harris. Very good. You need to watch that. Will you watch that movie for me?
She get undressed her in it? Or
yes.
Okay, then yes, I'll watch it.
That's not why, though. It's actually Benicio del Toro's in it as well.
I like Benicio.
Very good. Very good. Okay, back to Imposter. The whole movie is they think that they accuse him of being an imposter that has come down to infiltrate this world. I don't know. I can't remember if it's just a land. But anyway.
You're going to have to pick this up. I'm already tired of this movie. Can I leave this movie already?
No. You must watch. The whole movie is him trying to prove his innocence. And he finally
I find him guilty based on your description.
And he finally does it. But he's guilty.
Oh, but he is guilty? Okay.
So that's
like Primal Fear, the movie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, not quite, but
no,
I understand your point.
I feel like Homer Simpson when they were trying to brainwash him, and they set up all these movies to watch to brainwash him, and like in the middle of the movie, everybody else's eyes are like this, and they're becoming sort of, falling in line, and Homer Simpson goes, "Wait a minute, I'm confused." So the DEA knew the cops were setting them up, and they said, "There's nothing like that in the movie." He goes, "Yeah, when I get bored, I make up my own movie." That's what I was doing right then. I was reenacting Cannonball Run in my head while you were talking about whatever the hell you were talking about.
Yeah, I was talking for like 13 seconds. I mean, my goodness. Reindeer
It doesn't
Games.
take long to lose me. Reindeer Games is great. Now, speaking of people who get nude, Charlize Theron gets nude, and but she's gone a little nuts.
A little, yeah.
She's gone. There was it was one of those. They got the blank around and find out graph where the guy's like, the two things meet up here.
Yeah.
You can be a hot woman and only so crazy, but then when you get to this point, it's like, I'm sorry, you're just not hot. You're not that, nobody's that hot.
What's number one on this Gary Sinise?
Forrest Gump. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Apollo 13 is really good.
It's really good. And
it's based on a true story.
As one of my parents' friends said one time when they were talking about it, she said, "Don't tell me I hadn't seen it."
Right. She ain't been around long, has she? All right, we got to take one more break. We'll be back with one final segment right after this.
Thunderbolt Lightfoot at Oscar's Cafe on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, Alabama is looking to see you today. Now, let me tell you, they got great food. They've always had great food all these years. Now, they still got that atmosphere. They still got that service. They still cater. Let me stop right there. 15 to 415 they can handle. So give them a call today at Oscar's, Highway 49 South in Dadeville. 256-825-4827. The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rates. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekend. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SCC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
2025 RVs are here. Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World. '25 RVs are here. Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn the Sports Blitz Live program, and not a moment too soon.
Feels like
let's see, North Carolina 27-13.
Good Lord.
8:41 to play.
Well, of course they deserve to be in. Look at how they're playing.
I mean, my goodness. You watch. They'll beat the brain. Who do they play? Ole Miss?
Ole Miss next.
They'll beat Ole Miss within an inch of their life.
As weird as this sounds, because I know Auburn cannot lose to Alabama State, I almost want that to happen because the host of Locked On Ole Miss is so confident that this team is going to the Final Four or the Elite Eight. I'm sorry, Elite Eight. That I'm like, but they're not, and he is 100% convinced.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, because he's an Ole Miss fan. I mean, he's just he's convinced, and I'm like, I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see.
Okay. Happy birthday today, finally, as we close things out. Billy Corrigan.
Yeah, of Smashing
Pumpkins.
1979.
Another St. Patty's Day birthday.
Is it Bruce Pearl's birthday, too?
No.
It was like maybe yesterday or something?
I don't know.
I think so. I don't know. I think it's Grant Nelson's birthday.
Really? Today?
I think so.
Well, today's not St. Patty's Day.
Or maybe it was yesterday.
Okay.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
1967. Do you really? I mean,
Billy Corrigan.
He seems. I thought he was like younger than I am.
Holy cow! So when he was doing all this grunge stuff, he was older than me already.
Yes. That's kind of crazy.
That is
isn't it?
weird.
1979.
I love that song, and I don't know any of the words. I try really hard to hear them, and I can't.
Yeah. Tonight.
I don't like that one. No, but thank you.
It's a great song. Disarm. You familiar with that one?
No.
You would if you heard it. Bullet with Butterfly Wings.
Oh, God. Now he's getting all Seattle weird.
Yeah, and today.
Have you heard him do his
and it says today
landslide? Have you heard
today
him do
I
landslide?
lay. I don't know where that came from. It's just today. What?
Have you heard him do landslide?
I have not.
That's good.
He's a weird guy,
but it's a unique voice. You know his voice.
Yeah.
And I like dudes like that. I mean, you know, there are a lot of folks out there who sound a lot alike. Like this, there's this whole new tribe of young female artists. Everybody's fired up about them. Like these songs are all kind of good and unique, but they all sound the same. Like, I think if any of them just sang the same song, you'd be like, oh, I don't really know the difference between these two.
Okay.
But
I've
got an 8-year-old daughter, so I mean, I get to know a lot of this stuff.
Okay.
She's fired up about all of them.
This is contemporary stuff.
Yeah. Who's that? Chapel Roan or whatever. She's got a whole song about dancing at the Pink Pony Club, and I don't know.
Are they Blue's Clues?
No. My daughter's way past Blue Clues. I mean, she went from, you know, me having to change her diaper to, I mean, she's like shopping. I took her to Lululemon. She's like, this is great. We're at Lululemon. I'm like, you're 8. What are you doing? And she was like, yeah, I need some size 0. I was like, size 0 sounds like I'm buying nothing. Like, am I buying the Emperor's New Clothes?
It's a good question. What is Lululemon?
$68 later, I got out of there for one pair of black shorts.
What is those? So Lululemon's a clothing store?
Oh God, yeah, dude, you haven't. Yeah, you do not have daughters.
I do not.
It's like Lululemon is so bananas at the summit that now it wasn't this way on Sunday when we went, but last time I took my now 18-year-old daughter, I took her and dropped her off, and I was like, why are there so many people? She goes, that's the line to get in Lululemon. And she was like, yeah, they can only have so many go in there. So it's almost like they have a bouncer. Like, okay, now 2 of y'all can go in because of a fire hazard.
I mean, I understand.
I was like, it's just overpriced stretchy pants. What, I mean, is this is what it is?
Oh, okay. So these are like the chick from LSU.
Like, well, Olivia Dunn does Vuori, I think.
Oh, okay.
Now, but Lululemon is, I mean, you know, a lot of it's just good marketing. And, boy, some of them do make Lululemon look great. Now, not everybody needs to be in Lululemon, I'm going to tell you.
It's true.
But most everybody who was in there was pretty great. Once I got in there, I calmed down. But
I tuned out. Thank you. It's going to wrap things up for us. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. Back on the air next Tuesday. Be sure to join us. Then we'll be second round. We'll be talking about the Sweet 16. We'll be talking about the Elite 8.
This thing goes by quick.
Yes, it does. Don't blink. He is Luke Robinson. I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Ivy Creek Healthcare is excited to showcase their newest clinic, Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin, located conveniently near the main entrance to Stillwater's on Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin is an urgent care with walk-ins welcome. Whether you need lab work, x-rays, or immediate care, find comfort here at Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin. Ivy Creek, here when you need us most. 256-827-5379.
Wintertime in the South is mild compared to other parts of the country, but we still tend to be less active and spend more time indoors. Show your heart some love this winter by getting it checked out at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sublett, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/heartrussell.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.